旅の大多数であるハートレスの代わりに眠りに閉ざされた世界には別の闇が存在して。
Each of the words dream, drop, and distance have a meaning in terms of the overall story for this one. One in particular is that Sora and Riku are entering the sleeping worlds. They're taking their Mark of Mastery exam, and dream is kind of representation of that. The worlds that they're entering are worlds that are still trapped in this state of sleep. So that's one word. Drop is kind of the mechanism that the game has incorporated to be able to switch off between playing as Sora and Riku. As you're playing as each character, they have a drop gauge under their HP bar. When that completely depletes, that character falls asleep, and which is called a drop. And then you actually continue where the other character left off. So that's how you switch between. That's the drop. The distance is the word that represents the distance between Sora and Riku. When during their adventure, they're actually not together. You know, they do travel to the same worlds, but they do different things. It's kind of like Birth by Sleep, where the three characters went to the same worlds, but they were doing different actions. They had a different storyline, and that's kind of the representation. Is that what Sora does in one world does affect what happens to Riku in the other world. And so they're always connected in some way, and that's what the distance part is.
で、服変わってるし。あ、それよりリクは？おーい！リク！うるさいな。え？ひどいノイズだ。ああ！
Similar to the Heartless and the Unversed, and even the Nobodies, in the sleeping worlds, they're worlds that Heartless can't reach, the Nobodies can't reach. But there are these unique monsters called Dream Eaters. Specifically, they're split into two categories. The spirits are the good ones. Those are the ones that you could actually breed and kind of treat as your pets, help them get stronger. Those are called spirits. The nightmares are the evil ones, which are actually fighting. The way they kind of stand is nightmares consume people's dreams. The spirits consume the nightmares. And they're the new creatures in the game. They range from really cute-looking ones to really, almost dinosaur-looking, fierce-looking ones. And the spirits that you have on your party, the stronger they get, you actually are taught abilities from them. So it's a reciprocal relationship where most games that have this monster element, it's just making them stronger, but this actually helps Sora and Riku gain abilities too.
眠りの鍵穴を開くことで新たな力を身につけるとともに
Kingdom Hearts is known for its fast-paced action, really action-packed gameplay, but this actually takes it to a whole nother level. First and foremost, there's a new feature called Flow Motion. Sora and Riku can interact with basically anything in their environment. They could kick off a wall and then go into a really quick dive. They could spin off holes, they could grind on rails. There's a lot of things in the environment that they could interact with. It's good for one, going from point A to point B really fast. You can just fling yourself to a really high rooftop in one move. You could actually chain each of those moves into a unique attacks, and they're kind of like the finishing abilities from Birth by Sleep, where they're very powerful attacks. So if you're surrounded by a bunch of enemies and backed into a corner, just one jump off of the ledge will just trigger a very strong, powerful attack into the crowd of enemies. So that's one new feature. The Dream Eaters actually help too. They have a gauge under their HP bar called the Link Gauge. When that's filled, Sora and Riku can both team up with each of those Dream Eaters and perform a really powerful attack. But they do it differently. Sora teams up with the Dream Eater, so he'll hop on their back and stomp on the enemies, or he'll, a big bear-type spirit will fling Sora around and then just hit all the enemies and then just throw them at the end. Riku does it differently. He actually absorbs their powers for a short duration of time. And he actually represents something similar to the command styles from Birth by Sleep, where he could get a really long Keyblade energy, blade for a little while, or he could kind of grow these power claws on his feet and arms and just do a really, more like a feral animal type attack. So they have a different ways of fighting, and it really changes up the dynamics switching between Sora and Riku.
制限時間が刻まれる。俺はこのゲームに絶対勝たなきゃいけない。ゲームってよくわかんないけど。
This game actually features Disney worlds that have never been used in Kingdom Hearts. So you'll be visiting the grid from the recent movie Tron Legacy. You'll be visiting the Hunchback of Notre Dame's world. You'll be visiting Mickey, Donald, and Goofy's Three Musketeers movie. You'll be visiting Fantasia. All the Disney worlds that are in this game are brand new to the series. Sorry. This is the shortest duration or gap between the Japanese release and the North American release for a Kingdom Hearts game. For example, Birth by Sleep, had almost an 8-month separation. with such a short turnaround, they didn't really add too many new features in. They made some under the hood changes, some really minor changes that are not, so overt to the person just playing it. But there are some differences between some of the pre-order incentives we've released. AR cards that actually unlock some of the rare Dream Eaters. For North America, even if you don't have the AR cards, you could actually get those Dream Eaters within the game. They do take a lot more effort. They are difficult to obtain. Whereas in Japan, the Dream Eaters are exclusive to those cards, so if you didn't have them, you couldn't get them in the game. Like Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 had cameos from the Final Fantasy series. This one just wanted to change it up a bit, and Traverse Town, one of the first worlds you go into, right off the bat, Sora will meet Neku, Riku will meet Joshua, and it's cool because their stories kind of intertwine. Neku's looking for his partner in the game, and he thinks Sora's, he asks if he's a player, he's not a player. So it's cool because fans that played The World Ends With You are gonna just bring a smile on their faces when they first see those characters, and this is a brand that kind of has a way of bringing in other properties and making it feel seamless, and that's one of the examples that we've done for this title.
Yeah! Come on! Yeah! Let's go!
There's a very fast-paced battle. It's kind of a mini game. It's called Flick Rush. You basically put your 3 Dream Eaters against your friend's 3 Dream Eaters. It's a really quick decision-based battle. Your objective is to just defeat all of theirs before your friend defeats you. Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance will be out July 31st, exclusively for the Nintendo 3DS.